Maya, good morning and welcome to KTN Life and Style Artistic Thursday. I am, of course, your hostess with the mostest, Tandy Wayego. You'll have to pardon me today because my voice is a little bit, under the weather. But, as they say in showbiz, the show must go on. And I'm so excited today because we are delving into the world of movies. But before we do that, you know the drill. You got to talk to us on our social media. That's at KTN Life and Style using the hashtag KTN Life and Style and hashtag Artistic Thursday. So let's get into our conversation this morning. I'm just going to let this fabulous team behind the magnificent idea that is Stories Found introduce themselves and let us know a little bit about themselves. So we're going to start with the ladies, of course. So let's begin there.
I am Florence Nyokafi and I am a filmmaker.
I'm Evie Mina and I'm a filmmaker.
Okay.
And I'm Ishmael Azeli and I'm a filmmaker as well.
Hi, my name is Firul Maithia and I'm a freelance filmmaker.
All right, you guys, so we're at a room full of filmmakers right now. So I want you guys to talk to me about this project that you've been working on, Stories Found. Give us the in-depth description of what this is all about. Any of you can take it.
All right, so Stories Found is a project that was founded by Bad Simpson, who's a filmmaker based in Atlanta in the States. So the idea was to teach upcoming filmmakers the trade that is film. So it started off with a 3-week course, 3-week online course, of which these different students got to learn about the ins and outs of filmmaking, and then a 1-week crash course. I think crash course is the perfect word. Yeah, crash course on filmmaking. So Bud and James came here to Kenya and they got to meet these amazing students, and then they got to talk about just different, to film different stories. So the main idea is to get the real stories on ground, like everyday stories, and get to talk about them. So in this particular project, the first one, we had stories about culture in Kenya, and that was Matatu culture, as well as another film called Zumari, which was about a young boy being saved from the streets, and he was saved by music, and he sings also, he performs at Ghetto Classics. Yeah.
All right, and when it comes to this program, is it limited in terms of the kinds of people it can reach? Is it limited to Kenya only, or does it go out to other countries as well?
Well, for now, it's in Kenya. But yeah, who knows, like maybe in the future, if bad.
Yeah. So the thing is, we trying to doing it in Kenya first, then open the big door to the other African countries before we move to Europe.
All right, and would you happen to have insight on what exactly pushed the inception of this program?
That's a very good question.
So I was talking to Bad, we were just having like a one-on-one conversation, and in between he threw in some few words and said, I thought like a few people in Kenya, or maybe just say Africa, they have to pay really expensive fees to go to join university and stuff. And so he came up with this idea just to help people maybe from, less privileged societies, and maybe people who can't even access the filmmaking course and maybe crash course, as you call it, to actually make it into the film industry. And that's how he came up with the idea and Stories Found.
All right, and so far, would you have any kind of an idea how many people have been reached with this program? Or is it like too big of a number?
No. I'm just not quite sure on how many people applied for it, but I know it was about slightly above 1,000.
Yeah.
And we had 1,000 applicants on the website, and people were really interested to join and train about filmmaking. And the shortlist came all the way down to 14.
Yeah.
It was quite a nice reception, being that was the first rollout of Stories Found.
All right, and so you said one of the films is about Matatu culture. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, Kenya, Nairobi especially, has a vibrant Matatu culture, and our matatus are very cultural. Like when you look at other countries, and I hope I wouldn't get into trouble for saying this. When you look at other countries, transport is just like by the train and that's it, or just basic buses. But when it comes to Kenya, the matatus they're very cultural, they're very artistic. And like even Bud and James were very, like wow, like intrigued by matatus, because the artwork in matatus, as well as when you get inside, it's very, it's very artistic. But we have Firu over here who got to choose the story about matatu culture. His story.
So he should be telling us what exactly inspired the story.
Yeah.
So, what really got me to pick this idea was, number one, how could we... It was like a cultural phenomenon, yeah? So I come from Ngong. So in Ngong, when I was growing up, going to primary schools, it was like a Nissan Matatu gang world, yeah? It was like, not gang world as such, but it was like cruise.
Yeah.
So there are people who liked... There was one Matatu, like a Matatu name that had like 7 Matatus.
Yeah.
They were really cool, so they were like Wutangs. Then we had Nissans called Daiko.
Yeah.
So guys were like, so which is the best? Which is the best? So these guys were so successful that they kept adding new matatus each time. And each time they added a new matatu, it came with really souped up. It came with its own concept. So I thought this would be nice to share out to the world, yeah? Because they asked us, which are the 2 stories you'd like to tell? So I had to think, which story can I get access to? And one of the stories, the elements was, I knew some of these drivers.
Yeah.
So I really wished, how many other drivers get to be showcased? Like, we don't hear about them. We see the matatu itself.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be cool just to listen to this guy talking about their dreams, aspirations?
Yeah.
Because we know at times we think of them as unruly.
True. Very true.
But then they have a certain ecosystem that they have to survive in. So that was one of the reasons, and it was really cool.
Right. And were you guys able to put in your own input into his idea? Or was he just like, the brains behind it all?
No, the audience who actually support the stories that people can be able to tell outside there. So we were supporting it to reach the rest of the world. So I was an instructor, she was an instructor, and so our work was actually to make them make their dreams come to reality, and that was it.
All right, and now I know you have a movie that has been nominated for a very, very big award, huge award. I can see the excitement in the room. So please tell us more about that.
So the Matatu Culture movie, maybe Flo and Firul can tell us more about it, but it got nominated to Best New Media in New Filmmakers Los Angeles this April, and I still feel like doing my happy dance, just saying that, but we feel like that's very cool.
It is very cool. That's huge.
Yeah,
So
very
it's
excited
happening.
about it.
Yeah.
And just like Firul said, it's really just about matatu culture, and it's a story about, it's been told through the eyes of the driver. So what they go through, how they live their life within that life, the matatu culture. It's a life, and that's the story we're trying to tell. Matatu culture as a life, the driver, what relationship they have with the matatu industry, with the people they work with, their colleagues, where do they eat lunch. So it's really a very exciting story.
I cannot wait to see it. And obviously, we're going to see the trailer on the show a little bit later. And you're all filmmakers, so I'm sure there's a process that each of you goes through when you're making a film, when it comes to from the concept, how you execute it. What is that process like for you guys individually? You can start here.
So I come from a background of character-driven documentaries where I got to interact with them because I was a screening ops manager at DocuBox. So what that experience taught me is, for you to create something impactful, you have to follow the character, let the character, let's see, than just tell, because then it would be like a feature story. But if we get to see what he goes through, because we followed the Matatu documentary is called Shoto, so we followed Ken Shoto throughout it was a day in the life of Shoto. So from that we got to see where he eats, how he interacts with the stout, how he interacts with the people in the stage. And he got to open up more, and from that we were able to get his dreams, ambitions, his background, how he got into the Matatu itself. And it was quite interesting because most of the times you don't really get to think about them. So when it came to preparing for this story, I had to like research and watch other documentaries or other stories and features that have been told about matatus, because you don't want to repeat the same thing. So you have to watch and see, is there a new angle you can take with a particular project? So that was some of the things I go through. That's one of the process I go through. What's the story? Is there a new angle to the story?
Yeah.
And then you get to let the story be itself.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the process that we took in this particular project is that we went through the whole thing together, from pre-production to the production and to the post. So we were in it together, seen as it was a learning experience for us who came in as the students. So we were trying to take everything that this project could give us, all the experience, all the excitement. So we were really together from pre-production, planning what was going to happen on production day. We were together on production day, trying to put things together, making sure that you feel every gap that is there. And then the post-production, which it was a very intensive week because you got to do this in 5 days.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a very short
we
time.
met on Monday, and by Friday we were supposed to be done with 2 films. So yeah, it was very, very engaging.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel I like what they both said very much, because that's the whole idea of film. Stories are very powerful, I believe, and just showing a story, especially like Shoto, to the world, it's something very Kenyan. Like, it's something that it's an everyday thing, but being able to like blow it out to the world and just show like, wow, this is the life of a matatu driver somewhere in a city called Nairobi.
Yeah.
I feel like that is very cool, and that's the whole point of filmmaking, as well as just as I think Florence and Firul touched on this very well, that when it comes to filmmaking, it's the devil is in the details.
True.
It's in the details. So when it comes to planning and, you know, like just knowing like this is going to go like this and that, yeah, I feel like filmmaking is very important in filmmaking.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. First out, I want to shout out to James Bad, James Martin, and Bad Simpson for bringing out this project into life.
Yeah.
And also a very, very thank you to the US Embassy, Kenya, for making this a success, because you were using their premises for the entire week to prepare, plan, you know, all that. And it was such a, you know, it was it's like a 8 to 5 job, and you have to do it every day, and there's no shortcut. And for 5 days, I've never had that. I've been in the industry for the longest time, at least. I know by myself. Never done 2 films in a week.
Yeah.
So I shot 2 films in less than 6 days, and all edited and all submitted.
And it's crazy. We shot them for 2 days.
Yeah.
In 2 days.
For 2 days shooting, and then the other was like 3. In fact, it was like 1 day planning.
And we had just met, just
we
the
had
day
just met.
before, after
the online course,
Yeah.
which was
That's
like 3
like
weeks.
some kind of a record that's been
So
broken for sure.
It's quite amazing to see how you can do in such a short time.
Yeah.
I remember when you were standing outside the gate on Monday, Ishmael was like, I don't think even in my experience we've ever attempted to do this. And then I was looking at Ishmael, I was like, this is one of my instructors.
But you did manage to do it. And there must have been some challenges during shooting. So what were they?
So one of the challenges on the short film I remember was actually interacting with the guys on the ground, because we have people. We were shooting at what was the place? Umoja. And so it's ghetto.
Yeah.
So you can imagine interacting with all the, the
Guys at the stage.
the touts, the drivers, and the matatu. And that matatu, by the way, it's not supposed to stop even an hour.
Yeah.
Once it stops for the 10 minutes, it loses some cash. So we have to keep shooting it. Sometimes you even jump into a car and just follow it, so we can get like really nice shots for driving by the seat and stuff. it was quite amazing. And one of the channels was actually talking to the guys and letting them shoot with that. You know, it was something else.
Obviously, there must have been some highlights to the shoot as well. So there's the challenges, and then there's the moment you felt like, wow, we're doing it, we've done it, we've made it, this is fantastic. Tell me about some of those moments.
Yeah, like I think for me, my highlight is the WhatsApp group. We formed this WhatsApp group of everybody's involved, and you know, like we get to message each other and just seeing what everybody's doing, and you know, like just having jokes together. I feel like that is a highlight every day. Yeah.
So this process formed a sort of family bond. I can see that. So what has it been like for you guys working together? Did you know each other before this started, or have you been friends for a while?
So on my side, I knew Bad, and from a project we did previously about the Nairobi 6th bomb blast, the one for cooperative. And then after that, we kept contact, and you know, he just told me, oh, I have this idea, blah blah blah. So we had to plan and create an online course and all that. And that's how I met Bad, and everyone else, even Evie, we met on the project, online, emails, blah blah blah, and it's a family. No one is leaving.
Nobody's leaving.
Whether you like it or not. So would you say that chemistry is important to the success of the films?
Very important.
Yeah, it's very important. Okay, yeah.
It's very important because you see, when you're shooting a film on production, things are very tensed. Pre-production, you might be friends, but when you go on the ground doing your work, it can be very stressful. So having that chemistry, having that rapport is very, very important, because that's what helps you get through anything, all the challenges that you may face, like on set. Yeah.
I like that. I love that. And what other projects are you guys working on? Tell us. We're excited to know.
Is that on a personal level?
On a personal level, if you're working on something as a group, or if you're working on something by yourself, share with us.
Let's say we have Stories Found 2, which is it should be up by July.
Yeah.
And that's it for now, and we're gonna put it out there once it's up, because there's an online course and then there's a crash course, as we call it.
Okay.
And then on my personal level, I have a few projects I'm working on. I'm not gonna mention any for now.
Under wraps, these might be Oscar-winning type movies. We don't wanna,
Yeah. And we hope we win.
Yeah. I hope so.
I pray you win. Kenyan always.
So we're supposed to move to LA, and also it's quite a coincidence that the film is gonna be shown on the 6th, and that's the award day. Yeah, and then the same week there's Atlanta Film Festival, so we're gonna fly to Atlanta, also spend a week.
Oh, you guys were going Hollywood. This is serious. Now it's Atlanta. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm not starting strong yet.
Yeah. That's gonna be like, hey guys, what's up? So talk to me on an individual level about your career as filmmakers and how you started on your journeys.
I'm a trained journalist. I did journalism and PR in college. But then during my second year, during the industrial attachment, I went to this place called the Kenya Grips and Sparks Lighting. Those are the guys who gave me, who exposed me to the industry, and I got to see how proper filmmaking is done. So they're the ones who gave me that start, and they exposed me into the industry. So from there is when I started learning. It's a process. And also, as they talked about collaboration, this was my first time directing a documentary. So I relied on my instructors a lot. I relied on Ishmael for his eye in cinematography. It teaches you that film is collaborative. Film, you need to be able to listen and understand what someone is saying. As much as the vision is supposed to be yours, but without everyone's input, you can't really succeed. So it teaches you how to foster good interpersonal skills. So that is how I got into the industry. I'm currently working as a line producer and first AD, first assistant director. So.
Okay, so how I got into filmmaking, I started out as a performing artist, so that's how I started, getting involved in making films. So I was on camera before I got behind the camera. Yeah, so I did that for a while as a performing artist, as an actor, trying to do one or two things, trying to get there. And then I joined school. I did a short course before Stories Found. I did a short course in film at KCA University. and that's how I became a filmmaker, a trained filmmaker. And then everything else has, I think, all the pieces have just been, you know, kind of just like adding up, and then story is found, basically. Then from there, that has been a huge step for me. I don't know, Firo, about you, but for me, that has been a huge step, because just having your name in, you know, the credits, you know, you can show this film somewhere, you can be able to create networks, you can be able to meet people, going to festivals, and it has been great. I'm not stopping filmmaking.
Please don't. I'm looking forward to seeing what each of you will produce.
Well, I think we have an almost similar story. I started on camera. I used to host a TV show to do with arts and culture, and then from there it built up to filmmaking. So I did some documentaries with the United Nations, and then from there I went to just like general filmmaking. So that would include short stories and documentaries and so forth. And then here we are right now, and I'm also currently furthering that with a course in Harvard, just about like.
Phew, my goodness, people. Wow, Ati, where? Harvard, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that's me. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, future projects, just to talk about culture and just to showcase, you know, like the beautiful place that this country is.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Smile.
mine is quite interesting. So just back then when I used to be in high school, I used to, so my dad never, like the first years he used to visit me in terms of, you know, Parents' Day, visiting days, but then later when I grew up, like, you know, you're a grown man, I'm not to visit you anymore. So he used to show up like with the newspaper and stuff, you know. I'm like, "Ah, Dad, you're here with the newspaper." So I decided I'm gonna buy a film camera and just taking pictures on that same day and just sell them after, you know, after the event, after visiting days and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's how I started to do photography and stuff. And then later I finished. I joined, you know, school. I'm not gonna mention it, but I did mass communication and media.
Why? We need to know. Tell us.
It's okay. It's one of the schools that's during election, it's like polling stations and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's keep it that way. And then, yeah, so I did mass communication and media, and then later before then I finished, I got you know, a gig, and there's a company that I will never even leave here, the mention, it's called Quite by Films. Gave me my first opportunity to work as a runner on set. They do TVCs, and they even did Lansden. So I was even part of Lansden, and so that was the company that gave me my first, you know, exposure to all this, and then yeah, as they say, the rest is history. And then yeah, just coming last, I think 2 weeks ago, from doing 2 French movies since last year in October. They should be out by end of this year.
All right, big things, big things. So aside from filmmaking, are there any other interests that you pursue, or are you just like one track minded? It's filmmaking and that's it.
Okay, for myself, I really love culture. So anything to do with culture, I'm like, if it's food, just trying different food, and, you know, like just trying, like, if it's fashion and all of that.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. And skating, I love to skate as well. Yeah.
For me, it's music. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be doing music.
Interest photography and social work. Anything that has to do with educating communities. If I wasn't doing film, I think that's what I'd be doing. Social work, community work.
For me is I would say I so much love traveling, to an extent that I think everything just works, you know, works perfectly at its time. Because most of the jobs that I do are international, and so it splits into, I have to travel to go shoot stuff, I have to travel to go. So that's one, I love traveling, and then the next one, I have mentoring people, and one of the things, that's one of the reasons I'm actually in Stories Found, because I love mentoring young filmmakers too.
All right, Ishmael, so you're traveling, you have opportunities to travel, you love travel. Are you doing something about that? Are you starting a travel blog? What's going on?
No, I think I just travel and make, make movies, make films, make everything I can. But yeah, that's another thing. Just keep my memories and share back my memories. Because every young filmmaker wants to be somewhere you get. So if they see that film can make you travel, can make you meet new people, experience new cultures, experience new life, that's enough motivation to make them join the film industry or even get better.
All right. I'm going to stick on you now for right now. Explore new cultures. Don't talk to us about your Instagram. Your friend here is selling you out. Tell us about your Instagram.
You see what he's talking about, motivation?
Yeah.
When you look at his Instagram, you feel like motivated because he's doing some nice projects.
Motivational speaker in the
Some
making.
some really nice gear. But then it shows you just how much with hard work, because he's a hardworking guy. So I just look up to his Instagram and then I feel motivation. I feel like, okay, this is achievable, this is possible.
I look up to him, as a person, I look up to him. Yeah,
He's an awesome
Good
guy.
stuff for Ishmael. So, you guys, if it was possible for you to travel 1 or 2 years back in time, what would you say to your younger self? What have you experienced or what have you learned that you didn't know then that you would tell yourself?
For me, I think east or west, home is best. And then the other thing is like never judge anyone you meet along your way, because I've traveled enough to a point where you get to experience new cultures, you get to experience new food, new cuisine, and all that. So at some point in my life, I even tried eating a bat, and it was so nice. And I've been brought up knowing that you can't eat a bat, you can't eat a dog,
Can't eat a snake.
Yeah, you can't eat a snake. I've ate a snake in China, and it was super awesome. And with my crew, Juan Reina, and everyone else, it was such amazing. So I always say, don't judge someone, don't just flow the flow and get to learn new stuff. Just don't limit yourself to the max. Yeah.
True. For me, it's, I think, keep going. Yeah.
Keep going.
Keep going.
For me, maybe like Ivy.
Yeah.
It's gonna give eventually. Don't give up. Yeah, good things are ahead. So, yeah.
So 2 years back, take more opportunities. I think be open-minded, be more free, be more open to
All right, so you guys are pretty young, I can say. I don't think any of you are above 30. I hope, I don't know. But what would you say to any young filmmaker out there that's just like in a place where they're like, how do I start? Where do I go from here? What do I need? What does it take for you to become a filmmaker? A great filmmaker, not just any filmmaker.
I think I'd say it takes hard work, and you need to create good relationships with people, because like Firul said, film is a collaborative affair. You need to know that everybody is an asset, so don't burn any bridges. You're gonna need that person. Yeah, don't burn any bridges. Try to be very friendly, because film requires people who have really strong personalities to be able to, to make a good film. Yeah. So yeah, try as much as you can to network with people. Film is hard work. You need to work very, very hard. You need to trust in yourself. Because when stories found me, I was in a place where I was feeling like this is not it, because it's not given. But when I got that confirmation that out of the 1,000 people, I made it to top 14, that was a wake-up call for me. So just push on, and eventually it's gonna give.
I think it's believing yourself as well, because the 3-week course was quite intense. It was like 4 years of film school in 3 weeks, yeah? Most of us did 96% of it. Like nobody completed that 3-week module. Yeah? Most of us did not complete it. But then you have to have this belief that whatever you have in you is enough. It's good enough. You just need to practice and work on it. Like we all have the ability to tell stories. Because this was a perfect opportunity. You're told, what stories would you like to produce? If you had the opportunity, what stories? So it even taps into what would you like to share? What would you like to communicate? So for young filmmakers, just pursue opportunities, ask for opportunities, and just be ready to learn. Trust the people you'll find on that set. They are more experienced than you, even if it's by a day. Trust you me, there's something that happened on that one day you are not there. that maybe shifted this person's perspective. So be respectful, ask questions, be strategic when you're asking questions. When the director calls cut, you can ask some questions over there. So be willing to learn.
I feel like it's a learning process. It's an everyday learning process. There's nowhere you'll ever reach where you'll be like, no, I know everything about filmmaking. I feel that's a constant process that you need to keep on educating yourself, as well as relationships. Your relationships are everything. Because these are, like you become like a family, so you need to, treat everybody as a family, and everybody is an asset. So that is very important.
Yeah, so the thing is, as I said, I started off as a runner, so I was used to serve people on set, tree, water and stuff. But then my interest to camera stuff became more interesting, and then I joined. One day the guy didn't show up, then I had to rise to the rank, and I got stuff moving, and that's how I got into camera and all that. Like the first opportunity to handle a proper camera. And so I would say to young filmmakers that don't give up, keep pushing. You never. Every day is a school day. Till now, after all those years of working, I still feel like every day I'm on set. I will learn something new. I'm willing to learn. Meet me on set. Sometimes if you don't know me, maybe if I meet new people on set, sometimes they think I'm even joking because I tell them, "Can you show me this?" Maybe I know, but I don't. I really wanna, maybe there's something they know I don't know. So every day is a school day. Just keep it simple and cool, yeah.
All right, and where are your movies going to be available? Can we buy them on DVD? Can we access them online? Is there going to be a premiere in Kenya? What's going to be the future for that?
Yeah, so if I'm not wrong, maybe if we can comment on that, but as well, I think for now because they're not out yet, it's only the trailers out, and so what we're trying to do is put them on the festivals, because some of the festivals in the States don't show up, they don't nominate your movie unless it's only on a trailer.
Yeah.
You haven't shown it out there yet. So that's what we're trying to do now. Then maybe later in the year it's gonna be we're gonna have a very, 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 very massive premiere in Kenya.
Yes, and I definitely hope that you guys will come back after the movie has premiered so you can talk to us, give us feedback on how people have been reacting to it. And finally, I hope we can get your social media handles so that we can know how to reach you, how to contact you. If anyone out there is asking for advice, I hope that they can reach out to you in case that they need advice, so we can start here.
So on Instagram and Facebook, I'm on as Firul Maithia, at Firul Maithia, and at Sam Media, SUM Media, for my photography works.
And for me, it's Nyokafi_Galo everywhere.
Okay.
Mine is Evie Mana. Evie is EVIA Mana. As well as there's Stories Found. We have the website. That's
Perfect.
Yeah, storiesfound.org. So guys can check out that.
Okay.
Yeah, and for me, definitely is at Azeli_Ishmael. Azeli is AZELI_Ishmael. On Instagram and Facebook is Ishmael Azeli. Twitter, Azeli Ishmael, but I'm probably on Twitter.
All right, thank you guys so much for joining us on the show this morning. I'm so excited to see the movie, and all the best with your future endeavors. And for you guys at home, I really hope you're talking to us on our social media. That's at KTN Life and Style using the hashtag KTN Life and Style and the hashtag Artistic Thursday. We're going to be right back because there is so much more in store for you guys.